Hey everybody, it's David and I'm back with another video. So today is part 2 of the letter D for my continuing series, A Journey Through My CD Collection. Um, so let's get started. There's a lot of this one group, and it's because it was pretty much the first contemporary Christian, well they were more mainly a rap group at that time, but it was the very first Christian contemporary group, or rock group as later on they became. But growing up, all my dad listened to was Southern gospel stuff. So, you know, Squire Parsons, the Gaither vocal band, Bill and Gloria Gaither, you know, uh, the Imperials, and, all that stuff. But this is the first group that I ever got into, and it's DC Talk's debut album, DC Talk. This was in 1989 on Forefront Records. Heaven Bound is the very first Christian music video other than Southern Gospel that I had ever seen. And it was really cool. I was like, because at that time I didn't think that kind of music existed, but you know, but other than Heaven Bound, my other favorite songs on this album are Final Days, Spinning Round, uh, and actually, me and my dad and my brother, there was an accompaniment track for the final song on here, He Loves Me. And me, my dad, and my brother all used to sing this song at church. I would do all the rap parts, and then my dad and brother would sing. So, DC Talks 1989 debut album. And this was from 1990, New Thing. Let's see. He Works, I Love Rap Music, Walls, No More, New Thing, Things of This World, Children Can Live Without It, Can I Get a Witness? Awesome, awesome CD. I think this might be the album that was out when I first saw him in concert. I saw him up in Dayton's Hara Arena way back in the day, like probably like 90, 91, with Michael W. Smith. That was my very first contemporary Christian concert I ever went to. And that was cool, man. So that's DC Talk's New Thing from 1990 on Forefront Records. Now here's the one that they kind of started changing a little bit, from just the plain rap to, mixing it up a little bit, but they still had it on in here, and this was 1992's Free at Last. Um, probably my favorite DC Talk album. Although I do like New Thing, and they're self-titled, but this one just so. I mean, I had this on cassette, played it to death. Um, let's see. My favorite song is. Well, actually, I have a whole bunch of favorite songs. Jesus Is Just Alright, Socially Acceptable, Say the Words, Time Is, uh, The Hard Way, their cover of Lean On Me, um, Word to the Father. I mean, there's just a lot of cool songs on here. That's DC Talk's Free at Last album from 1992. Then in 94, they followed it up with Free at Last extended play remixes. They, at that time, Forefront was doing this for pretty much all of their groups, because at that time I remember seeing an Audio Adrenaline, because I think at this time Big House was out, and then they had like an Audio Adrenaline Don't Censor Me extended remixes. There's Rebecca St. James extended remixes, some Jeff Moore in the Distance too, but it just has 4 songs on it. Jesus Is Just Alright, Techno Remix, and Jesus Is Just Alright, Retro Remix, Love Is a Verb, Goatee Remix, and the Hard Way video remix, because when they did the video for it, they had a different kind of mix to it. But so that's DC Talk's Free at Last extended play remixes. Let's see. Okay, yep. And this is when they really changed their style and went into more of a grunge. I like this album. Not my favorite DC Talk album, and that's from 1995's Jesus Freak. Jesus Freak. What If I Stumble? Like It, Love It, Need It. Day by Day. And they did a cover of Charlie Peacock's In the Light. Yeah, that was a good one. That's 1995's Jesus Freak. Then it's the same album, but actually, hold on here. Okay, no, this is the one. This is Virgin Records release of Jesus Freak, and this is Forefront Records version. As you can see, the covers. This cover's darker than this one, but it's still pretty much the same album. I don't know why I bought it. I just thought it was cool to have it. Yeah. So. And here's their Welcome to the Freak Show, DC Talk Live in Concert. This was from 97. I also have this on VHS over there. Yeah, VHS. I'd like to see them put it out on Blu-ray or DVD at least. I don't think they ever have. It's just DC Talk Live in Concert when they do Help, So Help Me God, Love Is a Verb, Like It, Love It, Need It, Jesus Is Just Alright, What If I Stumble, In the Light, Mind's Eye, a cover of It's the End of the World as We Know It, Day by Day, Walls, Time Is, Kevin Max's poem at the end of the Jesus Freak album. If you let the last song play, he recites one of his poems, Alas, My Love. That's on here, and then The Hard Way, and then they ended it with Jesus Freak. So, 1997 from Forefront Records. Welcome to the Freak Show, DC Talk live in concert. Then from 1998, Supernatural. It's not my favorite. I'll give you that. Probably not even in my top. Probably not even in the top 4. Even though this is only like their 5th album that they put out. Not even in my top 2. I'll tell you that. It did have some good songs though. Consume Me was good. My Friend So Long. Godsend was good. Wanna Be Loved. Since I Met You, that would probably be my favorite song on the album. Into Jesus was good too. And then another poem from Kevin is on here, the last song. There's a Treason at Sea. Not my favorite DC Talk album, but it's alright. Then here is Intermission, the Greatest Hits, from 2000 on Forefront Records. Just their greatest hits. But it also has a new version of Say the Words, and also has Chance and Sugarcoat It, and also a version of I Wish We'd All Been Ready that could not be I don't think it could be found anywhere. So that's a Larry Norman cover, I Wish We'd All Been Ready. Yep. There you go. DC Talk Intermission. Now here is from 2001, Solo. Just a couple, their solo stuff. You have, you got a live version of 40 on here with all of them, but then you've got Alibi, All You Got, which is from Tate and his rock band Tate. Then you have Return of the Singer and B, which is from Kevin Max. And then Somebody's Watching and Extreme Days from Toby Mac. Now I will say I loved Tate, Michael's band that he had. They were really good. And they only put those 2 albums out and then they disbanded, but I mean it's alright. Now he's the lead singer of the Newsboys and doing pretty good. And I have one album of Kevin's, and I just never really got into the rest of his solo stuff. I don't know, it's just something about it it just doesn't appeal to me. But I was glad when he became lead singer for Audio Adrenaline, even though it only lasted for 1 album. And I actually saw Audio Adrenaline in concert when he was the lead singer. And then ever since Toby, started putting out his solo albums, I've been buying them. I've been a fan of Toby ever since. So, this is DC Talk's solo album. Just a couple solo songs from each of them. And it came out in 2001 on Forefront. Here is Free at Last, the music for the 10th anniversary edition. Not really. I don't think there's really anything new I don't see anything. But there you go. That came out in 2002 on Forefront. And then here is the 10th anniversary for Jesus Freak. This thing is loaded. It's got 2 discs. One disc is the original album. And then the next disc is a whole bunch of remixes. Yep. That came out in 2006 on Forefront. I mean, it's got a ton of remixes. It's got, let's see, Jesus Freak, Savage Retrospective Mix. It's also got, let's see, where is it? Yeah, Jesus Freak, the Goatee Brothers remix. Now, if you bought the CD, or not CD, the cassette single of Jesus Freak, back when it first came out, back before the album came out, when they released the song Jesus Freak as a single, it had Jesus Freak on one side, and I think the other side was Jesus Freak Goatee Brothers remix. Then I think that might have been the only way you could have got I Wish We'd All Been Ready. It was like a live song on that side, on the side 2 of the cassette. But let's see, I Wish We'd All Been Ready here is on here. 40 live. There's an In the Light instrumental remix. There's Help live. Mind's Eye remix. What Have We Become remix. Like It, Love It, Need It. Between You and Me. What If I Stumble remix. Yeah. Just a bunch of stuff. Next up is DC Talk, the early years. Just a bunch of their early stuff. 2006 Forefront as well. It's got Heaven Bound Spinning Around from the first album, When DC Talks, He Works, New Thing, Walls from New Thing, and then The Hard Way, That Kind of Girl, Socially Acceptable, and Word to the Father from Free at Last. Then here is a Greatest Hits special edition that came out in 2007 on Forefront. It's got a DVD with some videos, live performances. It's got Jesus Freak, Say the Words, Colored People, Jesus Is Just Alright, Between You and Me, Mind's Eye, Consume Me, My Will, which is if you had the Exodus Worship album back in the day that had, let's see, it was like a whole bunch of different people on it. Michael W. Smith was on it. I think Chris Rice and DC Talk was on it, and they did a song "My Will." And at that point, you could only get it on that album, but they put it here on this Greatest Hits album because it is a really good song. Then In the Light, Socially Acceptable, Love is a Verb, Supernatural, The Hard Way, Godsend, What If I Stumble, and Red Letters. Then in the DVD, it's got Jesus Freak, The Hard Way, Between You and Me, Mind's Eye Live, Consume Me, Colored People, Love is a Verb, My Friend So Long, Jesus Is Just Alright, My Will Live, and Since I Met You live. So it's packed full of a lot of good songs. That was from 2007 on Forefront. This is their. I just buy everything I can find at DC Talk, so that's why I got like 8 or so greatest hits. This is the Ultimate Collection, 2009 Forefront. Just, whole bunch of songs. No new songs, just all the greatest hits. A couple more and then we're done. But that's it at DC Talk. Next up is a Christian rock group, December Radio. This is their debut album. Probably the song that you probably heard of is Drifter. That was all over the radio. This one came out in 2000, I want to say 4, 5, somewhere around there. Just straight up hard rock. I mean, really good rock music. December Radio, their self-titled album, December Radio. That's on the Slanted Records from 2004. And this one is from 2007 on Slanted Records. This is their last studio album, Satisfied. This one is good. I love this album. I liked it a lot better than I did their debut. Better Man, Satisfy Me, Believer, For Your Glory, Love Can, Powerful Thing, Find You Waiting. Great album. Yeah, I wish this group was still around, because they're out. Their stuff is just really, really good. Then this is the last album they put out, which was a live album. It's just called December Radio Live. It's got Believer, Love Found Me, Love and Breathe, Better Man, Find You Waiting, Powerful Thing, Satisfy Me, Drifter, Love Can, Be Alright, Gasoline. This thing came out in 2008, 2009. Again on Slanted Records. Next up is Decipher Down. This is End of Grey. Just a great album. I love this group. They're still around, I think. Probably, let's see. What was the one? Oh, yeah. Burn Back the Sun is probably their biggest hit off this album. This came out in 2006 on INO Records. Just a cool rock group. Here's their next one, Crash. This one was from 2009 on INO Records. Awesome album. Favorite song on here is Fading. Just really, really, really good. Here's their next album, Scarecrow. 2013 on Fair Trade Services. Which is really INO. They just switched their name. My favorite song would be Memory, my favorite song off this album. That's Decipher Down, Scarecrow. And finally, their most recent album from 2016. Here is The Other Side of Darkness. It's a okay album. It's got some good songs on it, but it's not as good as Crash, which is my favorite one. Let's see. Nothing More was a good song. They redid Burn Back the Sun and made an acoustic version of it. Really good. Made that song even better from the one on their debut album. But yeah, this one was on. Well, it looks like it was self-produced and all that, so hopefully they'll put some more stuff out. I would really, really, really like them. Alright, that'll do it. Hopefully you stuck around for all that. If you did and you like it, hit that like button. Subscribe. I'll be doing more of these. I've got a very long way to go. Till next time, see ya.